Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, it's been a while since I haven't recorded anything, so it's my first video of 2026. So let's talk about the bizarre console prices that we're seeing everywhere in Australia. I'm going to be primarily focusing on prices that we see here locally. I know it's gone up everywhere, with the world I've seen a lot of price increase, but let's see what sort of console prices that we have currently as of April 18, 2026 in Australia. So let's start with PS5. What should I say? 999 over there. I don't know, Sony, who you're faking with that 5 cent discount. It's $1,000, man. Yeah, it's just gone up so much. I remember when it came out at 750, it was still pricey at that time. But I still convinced myself to get it, and then quickly I sold it off, and then I bought a slim one when it came out. One you see over there. Got it from Facebook. I would highly recommend you guys looking out for those kind of deals if you can find something secondhand, because they'll be very decently priced at this thing. Yeah, that's just my thought on it. It's just too pricey, but given the fact this is the version of console that you want to get, I won't recommend getting the digital console just because of the prices of digital games these days. At least you can get a old disc game that you can plug into this one and play. All right, yeah, let's look at some of the price increases that have gone down in history of PlayStation 5 since the launch. So it started off at $749. Right now there are three models. So you got the digital, you got the disc, and you got the Pro. I don't know who the Pro is for. There's a small market, but once you see that the current price, I don't think anyone would want to get a Pro anymore. Yeah, so it started off at $749. That was still pricey back in 2020 when it launched, right in the middle of pandemic. Everyone had a bit of extra cash, so people sort of coughed that out and got it. Digital was $600. Still, all right. In 2022, we saw a $50 increase, and it just stayed like that for the next 3 years. And then in 2024, we got Pro that was launched for $1,200. I don't know about the US guys, man. You guys always have those rounded off numbers, which seems quite a bit low. But for us, it was $1,200 here, so it was still pricey. That was a price of a decent, PC. I'm sure a lot of you out there was able to get a decent PC for that price. You can still get a PC for that price. I don't know about the RAM prices. How much they would have changed. We need to look at the PC parts in the next video as well. But yeah, 2025 went up to $829. That was already an increase. Can't remember what was happening at the time. I think it was just increase. No. What was happening then? Was there a SSD shortage or a RAM shortage? Nothing. I can't think of anything. If you do, please comment below and let me know why you think the increase happened at that time. And then, yeah, in April 2026, now it's $995. The disc one is $99, but the digital one has actually seen the most amount of increase as well. As you can see, it went up to $919, which is only about $80 cheaper, but previously was way less than the digital one. Now the gap between these two consoles have also gone down. And the Pro, it's $1,400, man. That's just too much. I can't recommend anyone buying a Pro console for that. You'd be better off getting a second-hand PS5 disc version, and then maybe even buy a older PC as well. You can get two things in the same price, and it will perform better than a PS5 Pro in most of the games. Yeah, that's my hot take on it. Do I like the price increases? No. Do I recommend anyone buying it for that price? No. Do I think the price is gonna go down? No. So yeah, it's been quite a bit of price hike. So if you really want to get a PS5, you're out there, you can afford it, you can go for it. But if you are looking for, if you're a budget gamer trying to look for something on the budget, go look at Facebook Marketplace. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of people offloading their consoles everywhere. I see a lot of listings in Brisbane, but just be wary of those scammers. There's always people posting. It just became one of those heavily scammed items on online Facebook marketplaces. Next up is our Xbox Series X console. So Xbox has 3 consoles, I think. You got the Series X, you got the X, and you also have the digital X as well. So yeah, right now it's $849 for the Series X console. I think it's 1 terabyte. And then you got the all digital 1 terabyte as well, and then you have the 512, the 1 terabyte version of the Series X console or Series X console. But yeah, as usual, I would always recommend getting the dead disc version. All right, let's look at the prices of or the price evolution of Series X and the other consoles that Microsoft has to offer. So similar to PS5, launched at $749. Series S was the best deal at the time for $499, which was way less than the digital PlayStation. Had a bit of price increase in 2023, went up by $50, unchanged for the Series S. Series S went up by $50 in 2024, and we saw the launch of the digital version of the Series X as well. So it went up to $699, and the disc version went up to $799. And last year we saw it went up to $849. The non-disc version went by another $50, went to $749, and then we saw a price stability with the digital 1 terabyte version now. So it's actually a better deal now. So you got the 1 terabyte version for $549. But yeah, that's way less than that's about $150 less than the PS5 currently. All right, that's about it for the Xboxes, and let's look at the. All right, next up, let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. Right now, it's sitting at $729 or $769. There's a bit of discount or sale going on at EB Games. Yeah, and you can do a bit of more stacking of rewards if you got the higher tier membership over there. But yeah, I don't think the prices have gone up so much for Switch 2. So it's stayed relatively the same since 2025, which was last year. So yeah, we haven't seen a price increase on Switch just yet. Maybe it's coming, who knows? But as of now, it's all right. It's the same price. Switch. All right, so this will have to do for today. So as you saw, there's been a drastic price increases. PS5, just topping the charts. With the price increases, but honestly, it's the best console that we have on the market right now. Given the games that we have, Xbox has their own edge with the PS Game Pass, which is too expensive. The PC Game Pass, I should say. It's up at $35, so that's very expensive, I would say. So up to you if you want to get a console which is Sony or Microsoft branded, but I personally would be inclined towards PS5. All right, peace out.